Hey Danielle, how's it going?
Hey, Carrie, good. How about yourself?
Good. So you ran a poll a few weeks ago about what are the topics we should cover next. And the most popular question was, what is the untapped potential of marketing operations in an organization? So I'll kick it right off to you. What do you think?
I think there's technically two pieces, right? I think there's
Mhm.
an internal focus and then an external focus. So I'm going to start with the external focus because
Okay.
I sort of feel like in the days of AI, brand is very important at this point.
Hmm.
So I just heard a webinar from somebody else and it was a very interesting approach and I agree with them. Maybe we don't need our message everywhere that the customer is. Maybe there just is very important places where we need to get our message in front of the right people. So again, trying to be everywhere all the time, I think is very unrealistic at this stage, especially with AI. I think AI is now taking control away from us and putting it more in the hands of the customers. So I think it's about us trying to influence and be clear, take a lot of jargon away, and to not focus on different messaging depending on the person in the organization. I think everyone needs to know what our services or products offer, what we're solving for, and why we're the best to help them with their problem that they have. So I think that's a really important one because I think we just spend so much time doing personalization, trying to get personalization right. Maybe it's not so much about that anymore. Maybe it is about let's just make it simplistic and clear about what we're offering to allow our AI friends pick us up and distribute it to the right places.
Yeah, it is definitely a lot more of a black box that we don't know what's happening. We're not going to even see now with the AI answers in Google, we're not even going to see necessarily a Google organic search to our website. The answers are going right to the customer. And I think to me, it's always been the same. It's just that we got used to this level of data about what was happening with people, but the brand was always important. The message was always important, but now we're going to be a little bit more blind to it, which means that we really have to get to the root of number one, who are we talking to? What matters to them? And then I think that what makes Mops unique in particular is that we're often involved in the process of getting the message out. So someone else might be writing the message, but we're really involved in distributing the message. And so as we move forward, I think there's going to be a lot more of the message and the method of communication being intertwined. And so your point about being simplified and probably like maybe we use the word elegant, it's a quick and elegant answer that we get to somebody without using the jargon, without overthinking it, but really putting ourselves in the shoes of our customer or prospects of like, what is it I need to know about this company or this product that solves my problems? And why should I reach out to them?
So that's the external. So I think there's also a big piece for the internal focus. So I think you've seen me on LinkedIn a lot talking about strategy. That is a huge part of our role. And I think at this time it is critical. A lot of these agents are help simplifying processes that we used to manually oversee. So
Mm-hmm.
now it needs to be about like why do we want to reach these people? What is the benefit for them? How do we also share that when we've executed these things, it resulted in what we needed? So, you might have a database of X number, let's say 100,000, but of that 100,000, what is your ideal customer profile? Who should you be targeting? Who has actually converted in the past? What has made them convert? So there's a little bit more you need to understand and to then target better to those people to make sure they are converting. Making revenue happen is so critical right now. And being a partner with sales and figuring out what's working well is going to be huge.
Yeah, I think it's a really simple thing that at the heart of all of us, we should be doing activities that are best for the customer because if it's best for the customer, hopefully it's best for driving business and revenue. And if we're driving revenue for our company, then hopefully our jobs are safe. And I think more and more we need to be doing a better job of like you said with that strategy that can be kind of invisible a lot of times and we need to do a little bit better job of articulating it and documenting it. We won't always have like a before and after metrics, but if we can say like what was our intent, here was the outcome, and here is how it impacted business. I think that not only are we doing what's right for the business, but we're also doing what's right for our role and ourselves.
Yeah, I think Mike Rizzo recently just gave some examples in his recent newsletter. about cases where we've had impact and we have been like the silent impact team for the company where we just execute. We haven't done a good enough job of advocating for ourselves and advocating for our teammates about what we've done, how we've helped the business grow. So I think that's a really great place to be. Remember to advocate for what you've accomplished and how it's impacted business.
Yeah, it's kind of a small little trick that I've been doing even just as a consultant is that I use ClickUp as my project management system. And so I've added custom fields on my tasks. And one is like a summary of what the task was, but then the second is business impact. Because as a consultant, my job is to help make my customers better at their job. So I need to be thinking every time I'm doing this, what is the impact to the company for that? Because then whether it's working in-house and being able to say like, I impacted this revenue, or being a consultant helping your client, like we need to be able to kind of quantify and say like, this is how it helped the business. And so I think even just keeping that as like the root of what we're doing, so that even when we're taking on tasks, if somebody asks us to do something like order t-shirts for the employee party, we can go like, I'm not sure that's the right business impact given the other 10 priorities on my desk right now. And it's not to say that's not important, but I think that when you remember your job is to help grow the business, then it makes it a little bit easier to be prioritizing your time.
This one was fun. I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
untapped potential, and I hope that in as we move into 2026, folks tap in.
Yeah. And always let us know if you have more ideas. So we appreciate it. Good to see you, Danielle.
Good speaking with you.